இருக்கேன் லைவ்
ஆயிடுச்சா அங்க வருதா போட்டோ எடுப்பு யார் போடுவா யார் போனா அவங்க சொல்லுப்பா அந்த பசங்களாம் அங்கே இருக்கிறாங்க
வாட்ஸ்அப் வந்திருக்கா லிங்க் வந்திருக்கா
வந்துடுச்சுடா அவ்வளோதான் சரி மச்சான் வெளியே போகலாம் அவரே வேண்டிய கார் சரி இந்த ப்ரோக்ராம் வந்து முதல் வேலையா செல்ஃபிஷ் கார் வாங்கி சரி சீனியர் வைஸ் பிரசிடென்ட் அவ்வளோ சார் நம்ம கிளம்பலாமா அவ்வளோ நம்ம கிளம்பலாம் இல்லை கிளாஸ் இல்லையே அது மேலே ஐயே தான் வர்றது அப்புறம் இருந்து வெளியே போகிறோம் பார்த்து வேண்டியதான்
இல்லை 20 பேர் வராங்க ஆல்ரெடி
இப்போ இங்கே உட்கார என்ன இப்போ காலேஜ்
வந்ததுக்கப்புறம் இங்கே வர
என்ன செய்வேன் யார் அங்கே இருக்கிற 30 பேருமே வந்து உட்காந்துப்பாங்க யார் உள்ள உட்காந்து செமினார் இல்லை அப்படியே பின்னாடியே வந்து மற்றவங்க வந்துடுவாங்க கீழே 2 ஸ்கூல் எடுத்து போவோம் சரி யாரு டீம் ரெடி பண்ணிட்டப்போ
எவ்வளவு ஃபேக்கல்டி கோஆர்டினேட்டர்ஸ் இருக்கலாம் டென்னிஸ் மாதிரி வராது ராஜா
தெரியல புது டீம் இறக்கிட்டான் ஒன்றும் பண்ண முடியாது எல்லாம் என்ன இருக்கிறாங்க
எத்தனை பேர்
வேணா போதும் இல்லை அவர் பண்ணி சொல்லிட்டு வேணாம் எனக்கு அப்பவே தெரியும் வரமாட்டாருங்க
நிறைய குடிக்க போறேன் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தா ஆனா மொத்தம் 13 பேர் இருக்கான் உனக்கு எவ்வளவு வேணும்
சொல்லிட்டீங்க அப்படின்னா
பேசக்கூடாது பேசுனா தெரியல போதியா
பின்னாடி
போதும் போதும் பின்னாடி வெளியே போற பாரு
அதுக்காக அவன் திறந்து வச்சிருக்கான் அங்க லாக் பண்ணிட்டான் அவனுக்கு அப்படி
Good morning. Mic check.
April 5. Sure.
Check, check.
Hello, check. Hello, check. Hello.
India Education and Research Institute. Today is a day dedicated to recognize the incredible contributions of engineers in building a better and more sustainable world. This year's theme, Shaping a Sustainable Future Through Engineering, highlights the pivotal role of engineering in addressing global challenges from climate change and clean energy to sustainable infrastructure and innovative technologies, driving us closer to achieve the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Today, as we come together, let's not only celebrate the brilliance and dedication of engineers, but also ignite the spark of inspiration to empower the next generation to create solutions that protect our planet. With this spirit, let us embark on the remarkable journey of knowledge, innovation, and sustainability by inviting our esteemed dignitaries and participants to join us in this special celebration.
Thank you, Dr. Preeta. World Engineering Day is a momentous occasion that highlights the crucial role of engineers in shaping this world. Let us invoke the blessings of the Almighty with a rendition of the Tamil Thai Vattu. I request everyone to rise. Thank you all. Kindly be seated.
Night represents the time of knowledge, or ignorance and hope over despair. As we begin this auspicious occasion, let us invoke the divine blessings with the guiding of the Kuduvilam, a symbol of knowledge, wisdom, and positivity. May I now invite our esteemed dignitaries to come forward for the ceremony of lighting the Kuduvilam, marking the beginning of the enlightening journey. I request Professor Dr. S. Geeta, Head of the Department of Computer Science Engineering, to lead us in this session.
ஃபோன் பண்ணேன் லேப்டாப் எடுக்கவே இல்லை.
May we request our beloved students to maintain silence throughout this session. Thank you.
I once came across a quote that said, "The world can only change by engineers who dare to dream, innovate, and will." Now, to formally welcome our distinguished guests and the audience, I invite Dr. V. Sirilraj, Honorable Secretary, IEI TVLC, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning, everyone. It is with immense pleasure and honor that I welcome you all to this special occasion, World Engineering Day, a day dedicated to celebrating the spirit of innovation, creativity, and excellence in engineering. We are gathered here today to recognize the invaluable contributions of engineers who have played a pivotal role in shaping the world we live in. From towering skyscrapers and revolutionary transport system to cutting-edge technology and life-saving medical advancements, engineering has been the driving force behind progress and development. Engineering is not just about constructing buildings or designing machines. It is about problem solving, innovation, and transforming ideas into reality. It is about overcoming challenges and making the world a better place for the future generations. India's engineering brilliance can be traced back thousands of years. The Indus Valley Civilization, 2600 BC, had one of the world's earliest urban planning system, complete with well-structured drainage, multi-story houses, and public parks. So this early example of civil engineering proves that our ancestors had a deep understanding of infrastructure and urban development. The Taj Mahal, a timeless wonder, a 17th century masterpiece of symmetry, water conservation, and earthquake-resistant architecture. Iron Pillar of Delhi, 4th century AD, a rust-resistant iron structure showcasing the advanced metallurgy. Golconda Fort and then other forts shows the advanced military engineering system of our country. Steep well of Gujarat and Rajasthan, where 3,500 steps over 13 stories are the standing examples of the ancient engineering knowledge system. Tanjavur Pragadishwara temple, built by Rajaraja Chola, is a 60-meter Vanam, holds 80-ton capstone, an ancient engineering feat. Kalani Dam, Trichy, which is built in 150 CE, one of the world's oldest water irrigation systems, still supporting irrigation for the Kaveri Basin. On this day, we not only honor great engineers of the past and the present, but also inspire the young minds of tomorrow to take up the mantle of innovation discovery. Today's engineers are shaping the future through advancements in artificial intelligence, renewable energy, robotics, and sustainable development, paving the way for smarter, more connected, and eco-friendly world. In this engineering day, it is more relevant to recognize the contribution done by Dr. Kanagasababdi Subramanian, a distinguished leader, innovator, and visionary in the field of engineering technology. I welcome you for this program, sir. I also welcome our Vice Chancellor, Madam Dr. Gita Lakshmi. My warm welcome to senior officials, faculty members, and my special welcome to the budding engineers who will be the backbone of our great country in the coming days. Let us take this opportunity to express our gratitude to the engineers across the world for their dedication and hard work. May this day ignite a passion for engineering in all of us and encourage future generations to push the boundaries of innovation. Once again, I extend my warmest welcome to each one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sudhir, for the warm welcome. Now, may I request Dr. M. Ganeshan, ex officio IEI TVLC and committee member, Tamil Nadu State Center, to share about IEI, a prestigious professional body that has been at the forefront of promoting engineering excellence and contributing towards the advancement of society through innovation and sustainable solutions.
Good morning to one and all. So I have great pleasure in welcoming Dr. K. Subramanian, Vice President, Ashok Leyland, our beloved Vice Chancellor Madam, Dr. Gita Lakshmi Madam, Dr. Silvraj, dignitaries on the stage, off the stage, and my dear students. So I am very happy that the Tiruvallur Local Center of Institution of Engineers India is organizing World Engineering Day today. And also I am very happy to announce we are going to award to our Chief Guest, Dr. Subramanian. So I would like to tell about the Institution of Engineers India and its activities for uplifting the student community and also the faculty members. The Institution of Engineers India, shortly known as IEI, is the largest multidisciplinary professional body of engineers established in the year 1920. Recently, the Institution of Engineers has celebrated centenary celebration also, with its headquarters located at Calcutta. And it is incorporated under Royal Charter on 9th September 1935 by the then His Majesty of King George V. The Royal Charter endowed the institution with the responsibility to promote the general advancement of engineering among its members and persons attached to the institution. After independence, the institution is a body corporate protected under Article 372 of Indian Constitution. The Institution of Engineers India is administered by a national council with President of India as its head. The institution has been serving the engineering fraternity for over a century with its national and international presence through 31 state centers. In each state of India, they have a headquarters. 124 local centers spread all over India. So our Tiruvallur center is also one among them. The institution encompasses 15 engineering disciplines with a corporate membership of over 2 lakh. IEI has been recognized as scientific and industrial research organization by the Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, and besides conducting its own research, it provides granting aid to undergraduate, postgraduate, PhD students of engineering institutes and universities. IEI also recognizes the contribution of outstanding engineers and confer awards. Some of the awards initiated by IEI are the SAIL Award, IEI Young's Engineer Award, Merit Award, IEI Industry Excellence Award, IEI Engineering Education Excellence Award, Lifetime Achievement Award, Best Entrepreneur Award, etc. Today, we are also going to give one such award to our Chief Guest, Dr. K. Subramaniam, recognizing his great achievement in the area of engineering industry. The Institution of Engineers India is the first professional body to represent India in several international bodies such as the World Mining Congress, the World Federation of Engineering Organization, the Commonwealth Engineers Council, the Federation International du Breton, and the Federation of Engineering Institutions of South and Central Asia. It also has bilateral agreements with a number of professional societies across the globe. IEI holds the International Professional Engineers Register for India under the Global International Professional Engineers Alliance. The institution also awards the Professional Engineers Certification. The Institution of Engineers India as a pioneering body has been conducting the Section A and Section B examination, popularly known as AME examination, which is equivalent to our BTech degree. And it has been recognized by Government of India and Union Public Service Commission. There are 15 engineering disciplines and divisions under the Institution of Engineers, namely Aerospace Engineering, Agricultural Engineering, Architectural Engineering, Chemical Engineering, Civil Engineering, Computer Science Engineering, Electrical Engineering, Electronics and Telecommunication, Environmental Engineering, Marine, Mechanical, Metallurgical, Materials, Mining, Production and Textile Engineering. So there are different membership in this Institute of Engineers, namely the corporate members and the non-corporate members. And there are various benefits by being a corporate member and also a non-corporate member. Normally they used to give the corporate membership starting from AMIE, then MIE, then FIE like that, depending on your professional experience and the qualification. The benefits for corporate members are they can get a chartered engineer certificate, access to technical publication in e-journals, participation in technical events, seminars, workshops and conferences, access to guest houses, networking, and they are eligible for R&D grants. Also, the Institution of Engineers has the provision to start students chapter. So I am very happy to say that our India Research Institute also having a students chapter of Institute of Engineers, which is led by Dr. Anthony sir. And there are benefits I would like to share to the students. The students are available here. What are the benefits of becoming a member of the students chapter? So, opportunity to participate in technical events, seminars, symposium, conventions, workshops, organized by IEI, state center, local center, and all over India, they can participate. Participation in various technical activities conducted by the students chapter. Access to the library facilities at state center and local centers, and eligible for awards and scholarships, and also to meet fellow members of IEI for professional interaction. So, ever since its inception, IEI has been the forerunner in setting up national standards for promoting the country's international base, which culminated on the formation of Indian Standard Institution, now called Bureau of Indian Standards. IEI, in collaboration with Springer Nature Private Limited, regularly publishes peer-reviewed international journals in 5 series covering 15 engineering disciplines. IEI also issues membership certificate to the eligible engineers, technologists, scientists, chartered engineer, professional engineer, etc. Every year, awards are conferred upon the distinguished engineers in recognition of their contribution in the engineering domain. The institute maintains a panel of highly qualified and well-experienced arbitrators having technical and professional engineering competence covering 15 engineering disciplines from amongst its fellow members who are attached to 124 state and local centers of the institution located all over the country. IEI awards a certificate the empaneled arbitrators in recognition of their expertise in the field of arbitration. The institution appoints arbitrators from its panel of arbitrators in various disputes that arise by and between the parties during execution of work or supply of contract. This is very much useful in government contracts and other things. The state local centers of IEI spread across the country do organize technical activities throughout the year and also provide platform to the stakeholders, technocrats, policy makers and others to share their expertise to benefit the engineering fraternity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us about this prestigious institution. Without engineers, our world would stand still. They turn ideas into reality and progress into sustainability. To elaborate the significance of World Engineering Day and the theme of 2025, it says, Shaping a Sustainable Future Through Engineering, I invite Dr. Sujitra, Dean Evans of Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute to share about how our university is contributing towards this theme.
Thank you, ma'am. Very good morning to one and all who gathered here. I am Sujitra, Dean Evans. World Engineers Day is an international day celebrated on March 4th in every year, designated UNESCO to raise awareness about the vital role of engineering in addressing global challenges and promoting sustainable development, highlighting the contribution of engineering worldwide. It is a day to celebrate and recognize the impact of engineering on modern life and society. Our university, how we are moving towards the sustainability is supposed the mission integrated SDG principles into initiative, conducting 74 events, implemented 7 projects aligned with goals 13 and 14. MGR Eniseva Club organized SDG Edios 2024 and 2023 as a symposium, conducted 110 events, and also awareness about the 17 SDG goal for each and every students. It has incorporated SDG principle into research efforts for both students and staff members. Notably, the events efforts as extended into national and international events. We also integrated all the events to SDG goals. IGEN Talk for SDG, IGEN Engineer to Design Challenges, IGEN minus CO2, IGEN 0 to Hero, with sustainable student participation, and recognized 2200 winners over sustainable development goals for past 2 years. Even organized SDG for TIF. TIF means to the students in the student and for the students. And FIT. FIT means for the college, in the college and to the college. Events for both education across educational level towards the worldwide. ENT first year created 17 ambassadors for each 17 goals. They used to drive this event, and they are main ambassador for this 17 SDG goals as an ambassador. Even they integrated EBS subject also. In the year 2030, we are moving forward to achieve the sustainable goal. All this contribution, at last our university received NSIR ranking towards this contribution. We take this opportunity to thank each and everyone for contributing and implementing the sustainable goals. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sudhitra, for setting us the tone of World Engineering Day and making us to know about the contributions of Dr. IEIndia Education and Research Institute towards UN SDG goals. May I cordially invite Professor Dr. Malini Pandey, Additional Registrar, Planning and Development, and Director IPSC for the felicitation address.
So, very good afternoon to all of you. Our respected Vice Chancellor, Dr. Geeta Lakshmi, Chief Guest, Dr. K. Subramanian, Dr. Cyril Raj, Additional Registrar, all the dignitaries here on the dais, dear students. So, we had a wonderful discussion, sometime back with our Chief Guest, Dr. Subramanian, and I would say that there was such a wonderful outcome, the one single outcome of the discussion that he told, so in such a simple manner. We talk about research, we talk about problem solving, we talk about innovation. Everything starts, I think you use some other bottom up or whatever. The problems need to be identified by us and see what is it that the industry needs, what is it that the society needs, what is it that the country or the world needs, where are the gaps. Once we identify the problem, from there the invention starts. So I think that was one thing that I took forward from there, and I would like to tell you, the students especially, whenever we think about bringing change, whenever we think about doing research, it's or becoming an entrepreneur, it's very important to identify what is the problem that I need to solve. It's not about what I know, it's not about what I'm good at, it's not about what I want, it's about what the industry wants. Where is it that innovation can make a difference for the industry or for the society? Same way I would say, if you wish to be an entrepreneur, you need to identify the gap that is there in the market. I'm an entrepreneur myself, I'm running 2 companies, and I always feel that it's not about me telling that my product is the greatest. I want this type of product. It's about my customer telling what is it that they want, and from there we drive our business. Same way for research. What is it that the industry wants, and from there we drive our research. So I just wanted to share it with the students, those of you who want to become either an entrepreneur or want to do research. It is very important for you to identify the need first, the problem statement. Once the problem statement is clearly articulated, I think the solution starts coming from there. It's not easy, it's very difficult. We need to work together, we need to build the right team, whether it is in the university or outside. The right team with the right skill set is extremely important. But the starting point is identifying the problem. Only then we can move forward. It has been a wonderful session, a lot of learning, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of other discussion post this celebration. So happy Engineers Day to all of you, and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam, for letting us know about what he actually needs. We look forward to hear the remarkable journey and achievements of our guest, Dr. K. Subramanian, Senior Vice President, Ashok Leyland, whose contributions have made a significant impact in the field of engineering and sustainable development. To know more about our distinguished guest, may I kindly request Professor Dr. N. Ediraj, Dean ENT of Dr. IEIndia Education and Research Institute, to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is a great honor to introduce Dr. Sabhavati Subramanian, a distinguished leader, innovator, and a visionary in the field of engineering and technology. With an exceptional academic background and decades of experience in research, development, and leadership, Dr. Subramanian has made remarkable contribution to the industry and hence to the society. Dr. Sabhavati Subramanian's journey of excellence and from Chinnaya Vidyalaya where he laid the foundation for his academic years. He then earned his Bachelor of Technology in Mechanical Engineering from prestigious Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, IIT Madras, graduating in 1995. Following this, he obtained his Doctor of Philosophy, PhD in Electrical and Computer Engineering from Cornell University in 2003. He later served as a researcher at the University of California, San Barbara. His professional career is a testament to his ability to blend innovation with practical applications. He began his career at GE Global Research, where he served as a senior microsystems project manager. Over his 7-year tenure, he led groundbreaking research in micro and nano structures, industrial R&D, and MEMS, switching technology. His pioneering contributions earned him more than 50 patents and the prestigious Hull and Whitney Technical Achievement Awards given by GE Global Research for his outstanding technical innovation. Yes, he is a certified CC black belt. He has consistently demonstrated expertise in high impact projects, technical publications, and breakthrough innovations that have shaped the engineering landscape. His technical excellence has been recognized with the prestigious honors at the GE Global Research, including Hull Award, which recognizes early career researchers for significant technical contributions and leadership, and the Whitney Technical Achievement Award, which is given for projects with the potential to be in the market game changers. In 2010, he took on a leadership role as a CEO and Executive Director of R&D at Power Gear Limited, where he led engineering, procurement, marketing, production, HR, quality, and R&D. Over 11 years, he was instrumental in driving strategic growth and innovation, spearheading groundbreaking technologies in the energy sector. Currently, Dr. Kanaka Subramaniam serves as a Senior Vice President at Ashok Leyland, a role he has held since April 2021. At the forefront of advanced engineering, he is spearheading the company's technological innovations, evolution during the critical decades of transition in the automotive industry. His leadership in shaping the future of mobility, sustainability, and innovation in the sector. With a career spanning over 2 decades, Dr. Kanaka Subramaniam's contribution extends far beyond research and leadership. He is trailblazer, constantly pushing the boundaries of the technology and engineering, inspiring the next generation of innovators and leaving lasting impacts on the industry. In recognition of his outstanding contribution, remarkable achievements, and dedication to advancing engineering excellence, the Institute of Engineers India Tirulur Local Center, in association with Dr. India Educational and Research Institute, Union University, is proud to present Dr. Kanaka Subramaniam with a Lifetime Achievement Award. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Dr. Kanaka on this well-deserved honor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now we have a video which should be played, which is also available in our university website.
a Senior Vice President at Ashok Leyland. I lead the advanced technologies within Ashok Leyland.
His educational background. He completed his Bachelor of Technology in Mechanical Engineering from the Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, between 1991 and 1995. Holds a PhD in Electrical Engineering from Cornell University. Specializing in micro-electromechanical systems. Dr. K. Subramanian's professional experience. Since April 2021, he has been serving as the Senior Vice President at Ashok Leyland, where he leads advanced engineering along with several other key technical functions. Based in the Greater Chennai area, he plays a crucial role in steering innovation and technological advancements during a transformative decade for the automotive industry. From April 2010 to April 2021, he served as the CEO and Executive Director of R&D at Power Deer Limited, leading the company for over 11 years. Based in Chennai, he had overall strategic responsibility, overseeing key areas such as engineering, procurement, marketing, production, HR, quality, R&D, and business growth. Under his leadership, the company implemented innovative technologies and expanded its market presence. From April 2003 to April 2010, he worked at GE Global Research Center in Muskegon, New York, as a Senior Microsystems Project Manager in the Micro and Nanostructures Research Division. During his 7-year tenure, he was deeply involved in industrial R&D, bridging fundamental innovation with real-world product development. He led multiple sensor projects and spearheaded a groundbreaking effort in them switching technology across 4 global sites. This pioneering work eventually led to the creation of Menlo Micro, a company spun out of GE. Awards received by Dr. K. Subramanian. Received GE's Hull Award. Honored with GE's Whitney Technical Achievement Award. Dr. Subramanian is a Six Sigma Black Belt. Dr. K. Subramanian was honored with induction as a Fellow of Indian National Academy of Engineering, FNAE, during the IEINdia Annual Convention in 2023, recognizing his outstanding contributions to engineering and technology. His innovations and patents. He holds over 50 issued patents, highlighting his significant contributions to technological innovation and advancements across various fields. Technical and motivational talk.
India was born in 1947. We were born in 1948. So we are also celebrating almost 70th year of creation.
Difference is bound to be significant because energy is a problem today, and how we use energy, how we generate energy, all of that.
We only assemble chips to make electronics. So in the future, hopefully India will climb up the value chain and actually start having facilities that make chips. Until then, we have to get smart about how we design our electronics. But then you're trying to use that as a basis to combine various facts and come up with something new in the future. And that's what engineering design is all about. You're always trying to design something new.
That was a wonderful video. We are indeed privileged to have such a great great person with us today as our chief guest. We now invite Professor Dr. S. Geeta Lakshmi Ma'am, our dynamic Vice Chancellor of Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, to read the citations for our Honorable Chief Guest.
Very good morning. So I am going to read out the citation which we proudly confer the Lifetime Achievement Award on Dr. Kanaka Sabapathy Subramanian on this day on 4th March 2025. Leaders are born or leaders are made, an age-old debate. In Dr. Kanaka Sabapathy Subramanian's case, leadership is cultivated through vision, dedication and innovation. With decades of pioneering work in engineering, energy, automotive and nanotechnology, he has transformed industries through research and leadership. His journey began with the B.Tech in mechanical engineering at IIT Madras. He then earned a PhD in electrical and computer engineering from Cornell University. Following this, he was a researcher at the University of California, Santa Barbara. As a senior vice president at Ashok Leyland, he drives cutting-edge advancement in vehicle technologies and sustainable transportation. His tenure as CEO and executive director of R&D at Power Grid Limited led to a transformative energy innovation. At GE Global Research, he spearheaded MEMS and nanotechnology breakthroughs, earning over 50 patents. Honored with Hull Award and Whitney Technical Achievement Award, Dr. Subramanian is certified Six Sigma Black Belt and a thought leader influencing global technology and engineering policies. His mentorship and contribution to academia further solidified his legacy. In recognition of his extraordinary impact, the Institution of Engineers India, the Tiruvallur Local Centre, in association with Dr. MGR Educational Research Institute, proudly confer upon Dr. Kanaka Sabapathy Subramanian the Lifetime Achievement Award.
I request all the students to rise up.
Thank you, Professor Dr. S. Geeta Lakshmi, our Vice Chancellor, for reading the citation. May we have the honor of inviting our esteemed Dr. K. Subramanian, Senior Vice President, Ashok Leyland, to deliver the acceptance speech and share his valuable insights to the keynote.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Thank you so much for this honor. It's indeed my honor to be here in very august presence. I want to thank Madam VC, all the dignitaries on stage. I want to thank all of you here for the honor. And last but not the least, my wife, my parents, my children, all the companies that I've worked for, General Electric, Power Gear Limited, and now Ashok Leyland, because they have all formed a very strong part in my growth, my career, my inspiration, and they have all reinforced my belief that I can do something in engineering. So with that little introduction, let me talk to you about, I was asked to talk to you about how I got here, what the achievements were, my career and so on. That sounds a little boring to me, so I'm going to give you a bunch of stories, hopefully, and take you along the career path, because this address is not about me, it's actually about you. Why is that? Because one day you have to be standing here, and I really mean that. When you watch a movie and you're looking at that hero or heroine or villain on the screen, you know at the back of your mind that that person is a fictional character. You don't relate that person to a real life character, right? It is something that you spend enjoying for 2.5 hours, and then after it's over, you get back to your daily routine, you do whatever it is you're going to do. Perhaps you're thinking of all of this in that spirit, right? I may look like a hero today, and maybe you're thinking of it in the same spirit. Okay, this is somebody who is on screen, and I'm going to spend this 1 hour here in this auditorium, and then I'm going to go back to my routine. But I want to take you out of that mindset. That's my job today. Because I'm here in flesh and blood, and I was sitting there 30 years ago. And you can be here giving that talk 30 years from now. As I said, this is the crux of my talk, and this is the reason and the only reason I want to take you through my journey, because ultimately it's not about me, it's what inspiration I can derive from that journey itself. There was a comment made by Albert Einstein on Mahatma Gandhi. Does anyone know that? Have you even read that? Albert Einstein and Mahatma Gandhi. So you may be wondering what the connection is, right? Because one was a scientist, the other person was a lawyer and a freedom fighter. And the connection is that they actually happened to overlap. They lived in the same time period. I don't think they ever met each other, I'm not sure. But Albert Einstein was so inspired by Mahatma Gandhi. He made this statement, I'm going to say it out. Generations to come scarce believe that such a one as this, in flesh and blood, walked upon this earth. I'm going to repeat it because it's not a very intuitive sentence. Generations to come, which means future generations, you and me, will scarce believe, which means that they may not believe that somebody like Mahatma Gandhi, in flesh and blood, actually walked upon this earth. Right? So, they will idolize Mahatma Gandhi. They will make a hero out of him. They will make a man out of him. But he was actually a person in flesh and blood. Right? What does that mean? It means that Mahatma was not born a Mahatma. He decided to become a Mahatma. He decided to do what he had to do. Right? Take anybody that you may idolize. They were all from humble beginnings. They all had the confidence and the desire to be somebody. And that's all that matters. Right? So I came from fairly humble beginnings. My father was a government servant and we had a very normal school life. We didn't have a lot of money. But it's a normal life. Didn't think about money in those days. And really worked hard to get into IIT Madras. I didn't know anybody in my family who had gotten into IIT Madras before. He worked hard. Oh, now you must be all be thinking, oh, this guy must be an intelligent guy. That's why he got into IIT Madras. So I'll tell you a little secret. There is no such thing as intelligence. Intelligence is something that is an aura that you create through sheer hard work and determination. Right? And if you think somebody else is more intelligent and that's why they are more privileged, you're just absolutely wrong. Nobody starts off being intelligent. And intelligence comes, as I said, from hard work and from a lot of experience, and that experience itself in turn comes from hard work. And if you work hard, and you will get a lot of experiences in your life which add to that aura. That's all it is. It's very simple. You just have to have an idea. You have to work very hard. So when I got into IIT, this was 1991, so quite a long time ago. Sounds like an ancient past. There was a little story that I remember. In fact, that actual story happened last month. It didn't happen when I was actually in college. Last month, I was invited by IIT's business school. IIT actually has a business school now. To give a talk to the business school students. And it was a very interesting thing because I'm an engineer myself, but how to connect engineering to business kind of thought processes is what I was talking about. And in that talk was an old man. And he was, I could recognize that person instantly because he was my professor when I was a student. And he was a professor in operations research. As an engineering student, we were required to take a course in operations research, which later became a course in the business school. So he was constantly looking at me throughout the talk. So after the talk, I actually went and approached him and said, I was your student, if you remember, 35 years back. And he said, I remember. And I said, how can you remember this? I took one course in 4 years, 35 years ago. He told me that, I remember you because you were sitting in the second row all the time and you used to wear a brown check shirt. He remembered at that level. But that got me thinking a little bit. Why? Because I only used to own 2 shirts and both were brown and both had checks. And it was not like we were poor or something. I mean, we were not rich either, but just humble beginnings, right? And we never thought twice about only owning 2 shirts. We used to wash clothes by hand in the hostel. There was no washing machine. And today you wear one shirt, maybe you wear the same shirt tomorrow. Evening you wash it with some soap and water in the bathroom and you put it out for drying. And next day you're wearing the other brown shirt. So that's all we had. Life was simple, but the ambition was there. We really wanted to do something. We really wanted to achieve something. That motivation, that drive was there constantly throughout. After IIT, applied to the US, because those days there was a big difference between US and India. Today the difference is narrowing. Went to the US, got admission into a mechanical engineering, because I did mechanical engineering in IIT Madras. And there, I wasn't happy. I said, I've learned quite a bit of mechanical engineering. There's a little more left to learn. But I want to do something else. Right? So what I did was, I just scouted around and looked for what is interesting. And I found this area of micro and nanotechnology which was extremely interesting. So, in my mind, this constant thirst to learn something else, right? And else is the keyword. You learn something. There used to be a saying that you're jack of all arts but master of none. But I think that change has to be the saying has to be modified today. You have to say jack of all arts and master of 1, 2, or 3. It is not enough to be master of none. You have to be master of one. It is not enough to be master of one. You have to be master of multiple things. That was my driving force. So I went to this electrical engineering department and said, I want to work in the area of micro and nanotechnology, not just because it has electrical engineering in it, but because it also has mechanical in it, it also has materials in it, it also has physics in it. Everything is there. I want to learn all of that. And they took me. They told me I can't just do a PhD in electrical engineering. I have to first do a bachelor's in electrical engineering. And I said, I do it. So I actually sat there, took bachelor's level courses in electrical engineering for sheer interest, sheer motivation. And I learned it. I took bachelor's level courses in a lot of things. In fact, Cornell University had a course in Tamil, believe it or not. I took that course. It had a course in theory of relativity. I took that course. It had a course in a topic called derivatives in finance. I took that course. Just because you have the option to take off. Right? So it matters what else you know, not what you know. Just keep that in mind. So I changed departments. I moved to this micro nanotechnology area. At heart of hearts, my thinking was, we are all Indians at heart, wherever we go, right? We may go into London, US, wherever we go, at heart of hearts, we are Indians. We like spicy food, we like masala in our movies. All that is important to us, right? So I thought, if you like masala in movies, if you like masala in food, why not make yourself a masala person? Right? What's a masala? It is a combination of ingredients. So that was my ambition. I wanted to learn so many things that I wanted to make myself this masala person, and I was thriving in it. And that kind of stuck with me throughout. The first time as a student when I went abroad, fortunately as a student in India you have something called a mess which gives you food. If you go abroad you don't have that luxury. Your first day you have to start cooking for yourself. So my mother had sent me a recipe for sambar. And I tried to make it. And I put sambar powder which she had sent me from Chennai. And I put turmeric, I put dal, I put whatever I could find. Put some vegetables. But finally I didn't get sambar. Something else was coming out of it. So I was wondering what has gone wrong. Then after a lot of thought, I figured out I left out this key ingredient which is puri, tamarind. And that was another motivating factor. I decided that day I'm going to become a cook. Because that challenge of not getting that sambar right was annoying, it was embarrassing. First time, okay, no problem. And I found out why it was a problem. But that day I decided I will become a cook, and I became one. I'm standing here talking to you on Engineers Day, right? I'm talking to you about cooking. So today I cook South Indian, North Indian, Chinese, Mexican, Italian, believe it or not, Thai food. It's just one more thing you learn. When I was at Cornell, another story. I was just walking inside the building one day, and I ran into this white American guy with a big beard. Okay, white American guy. Usually these Americans are clean shaven. I think you must have seen in the Hollywood movies. This guy had a big beard, so he looked like a rishi. Right? So I was very curious. I went and spoke to him because they were eating in his small tiffin box, he was eating Indian food. That perked my curiosity even more. He was eating some brinjal curry. So I asked him, who are you? What is it you're doing? And he said, I am the owner of a winery. Winery is where they have this farm, they grow grapes and they ferment the grapes. They actually have the machines to make wines. Right? And I said, okay, so but that doesn't tally with your cook and your eating and all that. He said, I'm also into Indian spirituality. He was studying Vedanta. Very intriguing combination, very interesting person. And that person became a friend for life later on. Right? So that was another challenge. If some white American can, sitting in US for a wine factory, learn Indian spirituality, what am I doing? I know nothing about it. Right? Except some prayers that I was supposed to learn when I was in school. So I took that as another interesting challenge. Not just as a challenge, but something out of interest. So started learning spirituality. To the point that by the time I was getting my PhD, the PhD anyway is called Doctor of Philosophy. So there's some philosophy in that. So I was actually teaching philosophy to a bunch of aspiring Indian people who were feeling a little homesick. They wanted some connect to India, and what this philosophy was one route. So this was very interesting because it was agnostic of religion. It was just philosophy. Right? How do you pursue higher knowledge? Is there something called higher knowledge and how do you pursue? Right? So just trying to tell you, as I said, it's not about me, but through these examples, that thirst for knowledge was always there, it is still there. After that, I wanted to do something completely different. So I got a PhD in this micro and nanotechnology area, which was a big budding area at that time. It was a buzzword, which means if you say nanotechnology, you get a job. What I did was, I found a job in a consulting company on the business side. It was called McKinsey. Many people must have heard of McKinsey. So I wanted to, because that interview process, I don't know if any of you have gone through those interviews for these consulting companies. The interview process is extremely interesting. They ask you to do what is called a guesstimate. 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 And which means, with very limited information, they ask you to extrapolate and make some conclusions. Right? So, this process of interviewing was very, very interesting. I trained for that. And I actually made it and cracked the interview. Did you pause? Sure. Okay. So, it was a very interesting job. Worked there for some time. I don't know if you know about consulting jobs. Every Monday morning you have to take a flight to the client site. Thursday evening is when you come back home. Friday is only one day in the office. So that is your lifestyle, right? Every day there is a 7-course dinner in a hotel. You take the client and you treat the client or something like that. And that is a lifestyle that none of us have seen, right? And you have to talk about football, you have to talk about sailing, all kinds of American pastimes that you've never heard about. So I lived that life for some time. Then I decided my heart was in research. Somewhere you have to find your heart. So I came back to research.
May we cordially welcome our Honorable President of Dr. India Education and Research Institute, Engineer ACS Arun Kumar, to the World Engineering Day celebration, jointly organized by the Institution of Engineers India and Dr. India Education and Research Institute University. Kindly be seated. We request our beloved students to maintain the silence.
Can we have your silence, please? So I'll just take a few more minutes and then wrap up. So I decided my heart was in research, and I joined General Electric after a very interesting day-long interview for General Electric is one full day. It's not 1 hour interview. Okay. What is the inspiration behind that? General Electric, I don't know if you know the history, was started by Thomas Alva Edison when he invented the bulb. Okay? So Thomas Alva Edison invented the light bulb, and he wanted to manufacture and sell the light bulb. Therefore, he started this company called General Electric. He realized, obviously, that no, he can't sell the light bulb because nobody had an electricity connection. Those times, there was zero electricity connection in America in anybody's house. What did he do? He started the company to first lay electric lines to people's homes. That was the first activity of General Electric. And once the electric lines were laid, and after he could manufacture and sell the bulb. He invented many things. He actually even invented the first gramophone, which is the record player. So many people don't know that he was a prolific inventor. He is known more for the electric bulb. So all this inspiration came because if you visit General Electric's research center, which is in New York, you will see Thomas Alva Edison's original desk. It's kept at a museum piece in the main lobby. And it is kept, and his light bulb patent, the original patent in his own handwriting is kept on the desk. So it's a very inspirational thing. But as I told you early on, this flesh and blood example, you don't have to idolize, you don't have to hero worship somebody, because he was also a normal human being who came up the hard way and he decided to innovate. So that was the inspiration. So I said, I have to do something very different than General Electric. And the name is General Electric, which means, though they do so many different things, electric kind of stuck in the head. Right? So I thought, okay, let's do something very different in electrical engineering. Therefore, the next story. What happened was, I joined as a research, it's called an independent contributor, which means you are just a member of a team. There are large research teams, many different teams doing different research projects, and you join as an independent contributor starting level as a PhD. And you are part of the team, whatever job they give you to do. And the first question I asked them, Indian mentality, is that when do I get promoted? So what is the next level? Project manager. Which means you run your own project, you have your team reporting to you. They said about 3 to 5 years you will become a project manager. I have no patience for 3 to 5 years. I said my timeline is 6 months. And then thought, see, here also you have to innovate, no? Not just in technology, but how you grow yourself, you have to innovate. I said 6 months project manager. From that I'm going to work backwards. Month 1, what should I do? Month 2, what should I do? After 6 months, what should I do? So I decided that the only way to make a project manager by bypassing the queue was to propose a project yourself. So if you create a project, and if you get the funding internally from the company, then they have no choice but to make you the manager for the project. So I did that. When I was a very small boy, my father was a government servant. He was working for the Indian Railways. He used to live in Coimbatore. And he worked on something called relays. Electrical people will know what a relay is. A relay is basically a switch. Right? He was working in the signaling side of railways, and that signaling was not done electronically. Today it is electronic. Those days it was done mechanically, using logic from mechanical switches. And these switches are called relays. What is a relay? It has a little electromagnet. If you turn on the electromagnet, 2 pieces of metal will come and touch, and the electrical current will flow, switch is on. If you turn off the magnet, the 2 pieces of metal will separate, switch is off. Simple, it's a switch. So this I had learned when I was a small boy, when I was with my father. It was very inspiring because my father was doing some very interesting work. My father is no more now. And this stuck with me. So I said, this relay business, I'm going to marry with nanotechnology which was my PhD work, and do some very funny combination of these. So I called my father, he was still alive at that time. I said, can you give me a refresher course over Skype? Skype was the only thing that was available those days for online conversations. And he did. He gave me one or two refresher. I just had to bring my memory back. So I said, I'm going to apply nanotechnology to the fundamental electrical problem of having a switch. A switch is a very fundamental thing in electronics and electrical technology. And even if you look at all of electronics, that transistor, which is the unique element of the switch, it just turns on and off. And how it turns on and off, how fast it turns on and off, all of that determines how electronics works. So most of the electronics are switching devices. So I said, I'm going to revolutionize the field of electronics by inventing a better switch. Right? So olden days switches were mechanical, those are the relays. Modern days you have this field of electronics where you have transistors, you have power electronics, you have MOSFETs, you have all kinds of things, but they are all switches. So I said I am going to invent the best fusion of the two technologies by going back to the world of mechanical engineering, but making it as accurate, as fast, as reliable as electronics. So you get the ideal switch, and we did that. So when we proposed this project, the motivation for us is that people told us it won't work. They told us it is a stupid idea. They told us if you look at these relays and circuit breakers and so many types of switches are there, you pass amps, 100 amps, 1000 amps, lot of current through it. If you want to make it using nanotechnology is simply the technology of making everything small. Extremely small. How small? You start from the micron level, right? A millimeter is so much. If you divide a millimeter into 1000 parts, that's a micron or micrometer. 1000 parts. So 1,000th of a millimeter. The human hair, right? The thickness of the human hair, not the length or the size, how thick it is about 50 to 100 micrometers. So 150th to 100th the thickness of the human hair is this micro nanotechnology. So you make machines which are of that size, right? They said you are looking at large switching equipment which are handling amps of current, 1000 amps of current, volts of voltage. You must be stupid to suggest that you can make something like that using something that is smaller than human hand. But we did and it worked. Why? There's just a simple reason why. If you make something smaller in mechanics, it moves faster. It's called inertia. It is basically Newton's law. If you make it lighter, if you make it smaller, it becomes lighter. If it's lighter, it moves faster. So just by making mechanical systems extremely small, I'm talking micro and nanometer size, we could make it phenomenally faster and therefore compete with electronics. Simple premise, but profound impact. So I ran this project at GE just because somebody said it won't work. And ran it across 4 countries, US, Germany, India, and China. Team had spanned all 4 countries. And this project is, I think you saw briefly in the presentation, it has been spun out as a separate company too. It is literally a groundbreaking technology because it is offering mechanical solutions as a replacement for electronics as we know it today. Right? You may not have imagined in your wildest dreams that there could be an alternative to electronics, using especially mechanical systems. And this is what, so this company you will hear about more and more because they have launched one product first, this spin-off out of GE, and they will launch many more products to penetrate into the world of electronics and replace it with better, more efficient parts. Okay? So I can give you a 2-hour lecture on that topic, but in the spirit of time, around 2010, we decided we have to be back in India. Right? Because everybody discouraged us from coming back to India. It's only recently. Right? heart is in India. So might as well take the decision and come back. So we just took the decision. We said we are going to wrap up everything, sell car, sell house, and come back to India. Period. So now it has been 15 years. 2010 came back. I was hired as the CEO of this company called Power here, which is about the energy industry. And they were making this high power plant, 1000 megawatt kind of power plant, completely opposite of nanotechnology. So that was about small things, this is about big things. Right? So that was very exciting because it was a brand new field that I didn't know anything about. So I could afford to ask all the stupid questions to my own team. I said, I don't know, please explain. Right? And they would sit and explain because they were very proud of their work. So I learned this field of power. I ran this company for 11 years and learned this field of power from scratch. Right? So somebody who was a scientist in nanotechnology who knew nothing about power plants. And power plants you may think is a boring topic. I also thought so. But I learned it. Right? Even in nanotechnology there were so many boring topics. Sorry to say, but many of my professors made metallurgy very boring. We had a subject in metallurgy. Unfortunately, the subject itself is dry, and people may also make it boring because they may or may not be experts in it. But I later on realized how important it is to engineering. Because if you think about it, if you look at the periodic table, which is the foundation of metallurgy, if you just look at it, you will realize that in everyday life you use a very small portion of that periodic table. Real world practical materials are very few elements from it. But this field of nanotechnology, the beauty is it gave us access to a lot of other elements of the periodic table. We have made machines out of pure gold because gold is a noble metal, it doesn't corrode. Why? Because you use so little of it, it's nano in size. So it doesn't matter what material it is made of. We have made machines out of ruthenium, which is a material that you've just seen in the periodic table but never thought of. RU is the symbol. Nano gives you access to all those kinds of things. So I learned material science as part of nanotech. So coming back, ran this power company. Within that, I realized there's a big gap in India. This gap between the research that happens in universities, very good research happens in universities, and the kind of research that industry wants. So I wanted to start a company or start a division within a company that bridges that gap. And we started an industrial R&D lab where we did R&D for other companies. It was a personal passion. I knew that this gap was there, especially in India. It is there everywhere, but more so in India. Right? So we started offering research. We wanted to bring together the research ecosystem, which is academia, what was missing piece which we were creating, which is industrial R&D scientists, and the industry consumers, also government for funding, defense, etc. Also the legal framework, people who file, the lawyers who file the patents. So we brought together that ecosystem for R&D, and we said let us offer R&D as a service with that ambition that when the world thinks of R&D, they should think of outsourcing to India. Today that thinking is not there. If the world thinks of IT services, they think of India. If the world thinks of sourcing an innovative idea, no, I'm sorry to say, they don't think of India. It's a fact. We have to change that. Right? That was the ultimate goal. We said, we wanted to say that if anybody thinks of sourcing the next big idea, they should come to India. Right? We wanted to change that. So I ran that company for a long time. Very interesting period. We got a lot of clients. Just one example, Boeing came to us, the airplane manufacturer. They are headquartered in Seattle in the US. They wanted, a matter of pride, they wanted to source the next generation aircraft ideas from Chennai. They said, we want the next level innovations coming from your R&D service that you're running out of Chennai. We were in Tamil. Right? So very heartwarming feeling to do something like that. So finally Ashok Leyland. So I've been in Ashok Leyland for 4 years now. And I didn't know anything about automotive. So I had worked in nanotechnology, I had worked in power. Next big thing we were to learn, right? completely different field, automotive. So 4 years I joined as a fresh guy in our automotive, but they were bold enough to take me as senior vice president. I think they also wanted a fresh set of ideas to come. So what did I do? Again at Ashok Leyland, I had the luxury of learning and cross-pollinating, which means that all the stuff that you have done in your previous job, you can find unique, innovative applications in this new area in automotive. But the real challenge was automotive industry itself was going through a big transformation. Right? The move to hydrogen, the move to electric, the move to all these new fuels, the move to new electronic systems on the automobile, the move to advanced materials on the automobile, the move into data analytics on the automobile. Stuff was happening which was not considered core automotive skills in the past. So if you're thinking of joining automotive company, you don't have to worry about whether you're an automotive engineer. It is more important to have the other skills too. But it's more important to have the combination skills. If you're joining as a data analytics engineer, you should also know how the automobile works so that you can apply data analytics to automobile. So another story, final story. In Ashok Leyland, first few months I was a little confused. One is all the new terminology that you hear when you join a new industry. Right? That it takes some time to get, to understand. Second part, I was wondering what these people are doing. Not just Ashok Leyland, but all these automotive companies. Why? Because everything I knew about automotive came from 9th standard physics, from Newton's law. Right? What is Newton's law? It is the fundamental law that explains how anything moves. Agreed? Newton came and said, three centuries back, he came and said, I'm going to define equation of motion. He said F equal to ma. Right? He said that equation is so simple, no? It only has two variables, m and a. He said this is an equation that defines anything that moves. And if you actually think about it, every other science or equation or maths and automobile came out of that one single equation. That was a defining equation. But that is what has stuck in my head since this 9th class physics. To me, there is a saying. The saying by Ramanujan. He is a mathematician, not in physics. But he has a saying, he said, an equation to me has no meaning unless it expresses a thought of God. Right? I'll repeat, an equation to me has no meaning unless it expresses a thought of God. This is what he said. You can interpret it any way you want. So what he was trying to say was an equation is useless until you understand what God or physics or nature or whatever you call it is trying to tell me through that equation. So that has always stuck with me. If I look at F equal to ma, I want to understand what nature is trying to tell me through that F equal to ma. The equation itself is meaningless otherwise. So what is that equation trying to tell us? It says the force required or the effort, force is like how much effort you require to move something, depends on two and only two things, which is how heavy the object is, which is mass, and acceleration. Correct? So what had stuck with me is what is not in that equation. So I was always thinking, if I have to drive from Chennai to Bangalore, which was 350 kilometers distance, what is the 350 kilometers, the distance is not there in that equation. So the effort to move my car should not depend on how far I go. There is no distance in that equation. The effort to move my car should not depend on how fast I go. Whether I travel at 10 kilometers per hour or 100 kilometers per hour, it should take the same effort. Because it's only dependent on mass and acceleration. So I was stuck with this thing that what are these people doing? Right? They are going to greener fuels, they are making the vehicle better, getting more mileage. So let me explain this. To me, what physics tried to tell me through that equation was, if I drive from Chennai to Bangalore, I will start the car at my house where the car is parked, and assuming ideal conditions, assuming no traffic, beautiful day, If I start the car at my house, I will start the car from zero, I will accelerate to let's say 100 kilometers per hour. That is acceleration. How long does it take? 1 minute, 2 minutes max. In that time, there is an effort required to move the vehicle, therefore some fuel is consumed. How much fuel you consume? It depends on how much effort is required to move the vehicle, which is force. But the rest of the entire journey to Bangalore, 350 kilometers, 3.5 hours at 100 kilometers an hour, as I said, it's a nice day. You never, no traffic. You never break. You went at 100 kilometers all through. There is, if you maintain 100 kilometers per hour, you never changed your speed, then there is no acceleration. Acceleration is change in speed. And therefore you should not have required any effort to move the vehicle, therefore you should not have consumed fuel at all. So what's the point optimizing fuel economy? What's the point going after greener fuel if you don't need fuel to drive anyway? Now this sounds crazy, right? But it's actually true. This is actually what physics try to tell us. So I asked this question in Ashok as a genuine, honest question. I said, Newton's law is very clear. One is you make the vehicle lighter, it will consume less fuel. That's the end point. The other is you reduce how much you are accelerating, how much speed is changing. But if you travel at one speed, then you should not need fuel. They all agree. And it's actually true. So this gave us one eureka moment, one enlightening moment, which said that fuel consumption is not about kilometers per liter. That unit itself is wrong. Because that unit is telling us that for going so many kilometers, you actually need some liters of fuel, where kilometer distance is not as part of Newton's law at all. So we started rethinking the fundamentals of automotive engineering, and we said, let's design an automotive that doesn't accelerate much, that is lighter. And that will give you supreme fuel efficiency. It will give you unheard of fuel efficiency. Because fuel efficiency only depends on how heavy you are and how much you change your speed. Not where you go, how far you go, how fast you go. So just see the power of questioning something very simple, power of cross-pollination, because you have done the same thing in other areas, and what it leads to. It's a simple fact that leads to very impactful realizations, right? So this is how I grew. As I said, this talk is not about me, it's about you. I'm just showing you this as an example. And I will continue to do this, right? I am in my 50s now. Maybe when I'm 60, I'll start a new company. I don't care. I don't know how long it will. Maybe one day, maybe 50 more years. Right? That shouldn't stop us from learning. So maybe at 70 I will learn music. Maybe at 80 I will learn a new field that doesn't exist today. Anything can happen. Maybe at 90 I will be enrolled in engineering college. So I just wanted to stop there and just give you that one message. It's all within you. There is no external factor which you can come up with as an excuse to say that I'm going to delay learning. Today you can learn from anywhere. You can learn from YouTube, you can learn from anywhere. Right? I quote this example often because it's a real life example. There was a department store at which I was standing in the queue. I was standing in a queue, there was a child and a mother. The mother bought chocolate for the child was happy. Obviously, the child was happy. Why was the child happy? If you look at the ingredients in the chocolate, you have cocoa, you have butter, you have sugar. Happiness is not written there. It's not an ingredient of the chocolate. So the happiness did not come from the chocolate, it came from inside the child. Like that, creativity, innovation comes from within you. It is not influenced by external factors. Right? So with that, I will just quote Avaya. She said, "Katral kaiman alavu kalladu ulagavu." So sorry for the non-Tamil audience here, but Kattodu Kaimanalavu is you take one fistful of sand, mud. That's all you know. And that humility has to be there. Kalladadu Ulaganavu, which means what you don't know is the size of the earth. And that humility also has to be there. So with that I will stop. Thank you very much.
Thank you, reminding the famous call, Ms. Clara Willis, very successful man, the women behind. And today we were very happy to see the women behind you. Thank you, madam, for joining us today. May I humbly request our Honorable President of Dr. IEIndia Education Research Institute, Engineer ACS Arun Kumar, a visionary leader, dynamic administrator, and a driving force behind us, to kindly felicitate our distinguished guest with a short Lifetime Achievement Award and a token of appreciation as a gesture of our respect and gratitude. Thank you, sir, for your gracious presence and unwavering support. Continue to inspire us in your journey towards excellence and sustainability. Yes, hailing from a simple background, under in IIT Madras, through the blood, sweat and toil, now mastering the jack of oil mansil, dur nahi, a tagline of Ashok Leyland, no destination is so far, which means it is the hard work and perseverance made you to stand here, sir. Thank you, sir, for joining us, and we wish you all the success in all your endeavors.
All good things must come to an end, and we conclude this wonderful event. To conclude this, I invite Dr. N.S. Shubhashri ma'am, Joint Registrar, First Year ENT, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Happy morning to one and all present here. On behalf of Dr. IEIndia IAS Student Chapter and IEIndia TVLC, I take this stage to propose a vote of thanks. First of all, my heartfelt gratitude to our Honorable President Sir, Engineer ACS Arun Kumar, for having created such wonderful opportunities for academicians, research and the students of our university. Thanks to VC Madam, Registrar Sir, Additional Registrar Sir, all executives, researchers, academicians, directors, deans, HODs, all teaching staff, supporting staff, IA coordinators, IA members and all the other people of the dais, on the dais, who have been tirelessly working for this proud moment today to celebrate the World Engineering Day. My heartfelt thanks to K. Subramanian, Senior Vice President Ashok Leyland, for providing your time and expertise for us on raising the occasion. At this juncture, a hearty congratulations to you for this Lifetime Achievement Award, sir. Your speech really was truly motivational, and as physics person, I am very glad that you have quoted a lot of physics behind engineering, which is very, very need of the hour for the engineering students. Really, very thanks from my bottom of my heart, sir. A wide round of applause, and thanks to all the IEA student members who have come all the way. I would like to say that the students are on vacation, but they have come here just to celebrate the World Engineers Day with you, sir. So thank you, my dear students, my dear members. Thanks to all those who are present here. At its heart, engineering is about using science to find creative, practical solutions. It's a noble profession. So today, a living example is among us. So I think we have to follow the footsteps of our Subramanian sir and create more creative and innovative solutions for a sustainable world. So once again, happy Engineers Day to all, and thank you. From my side, I request our chief guest to spend a few more minutes to interact with our students. So I am really proud to say that The first year students, we have around 700 members IEI, and they took part in a project challenge where IEI is providing seed money. So some of the students were asked, so if you could give your time in interacting with the students, like how you did for the staff, it will be more positive. Thank you, and I request the students to take this opportunity to interact with sir, please.
Thank you, ma'am, for that heartfelt words of gratitude. So, as our chief guest rightly said, wherever we are, our heart is in India. So, to conclude this event on a patriotic note, I request everyone to rise up for the national anthem.
जन मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
With this, we come to the end of our Work Engineering Day celebration. Thank you for all your presence and participation. Now we request the students to stay back for an interaction session.
Students, please come forward.
Students, this is a great opportunity for you all to actively participate in this lively interaction session. So make use of this opportunity.
Okay,